What's going on, everybody out there in Titans Tube viewership land? This is Titans Tube, and this is week 8 of the NFL season, and we are back to make our weekly picks, everybody. And as you can see, we have a guest with us who is now making a record-breaking second appearance for our weekly. We've never had a repeat guest before, but it's happening. It's happening, people. So thank you, Alex, also known as Mr. Titan, his very own YouTube channel. Everyone check it out if you haven't seen it. He puts out great content. Alex, how you doing, man? Appreciate you coming in on short notice.
Hey, man, I'm like that relief pitcher, man. If you guys need one, I'm right here. But again, thank you so much for having me again. It's always a blast to be on Titans Tube.
Yes, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
How are you doing, Jake? I forgot to also. This is the co-host, Jake. You guys
all good. All good.
Well,
I'm just chopped liver over here.
Well, this is the first time actually. This is the first time I actually talked to Jake, because last time it was a cutout of Jake. Remember?
That's right.
Correct.
Yeah. He had his name.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there you go.
Well, yeah. Without further ado, Justin, you want to hop into it, man?
Yeah. Let's do it. So this is a unique episode because all three of us now are on this. So
not quite a repeat.
Not quite a repeat. But let's go back and see how we did last week. Last week, our guest was my older brother, Jeremy, who doesn't have any kind of sports channel or podcast or anything like that. We were just in that much of a bind. But anyway, he didn't do too bad. So last week, Jake, you and Jeremy actually tied at 6 and 7. I mean, I feel like we're veterans at this point, so 6 and 7 is kind of a letdown. Below 500.
Below 500 is really, I'm okay with falling behind in the standings, but a sub 500 performance on the week is tough, especially when you're doing pick'ems.
Yeah, I feel the pain though too. I can't, I've got nothing to brag about. I did one game better, finishing at 7 and 6. Just kind of rough, kind of a rough week for all of us. I'm not sure what happened or where we went wrong. The game's more or less played out than how you would expect. Who was it? New England. It kind of blowing it. I know we all picked New England. That was they're looking pretty bad, surprisingly. But anyway, it's just one of those weeks. So overall, though, our record now throughout the season, and by the way, the numbers are getting to be too much with wins and losses. That's too many numbers. So I'm just going to go with number of wins, number of correct games.
That works.
So now I've got 69 wins on the season. Nice. Second place is the guest picker, 63 wins. And Jake picking up third place, 61 wins. You're almost to second place. I mean, you're going to break through eventually, I know.
Hey, I looks like I'm chasing you here, Mr. Titan. So I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Week 8, everybody. This is like pretty much the halfway point already of the NFL season. Thursday night game, we're throwing it out. This video's coming out late. We didn't make picks beforehand. So that game is just going to be next. So Sunday, noon, kickoff. Speaking of those New England Patriots, surprising 2-4 record. Cam Newton turning the ball over. Things looking bad for Bill Belichick there. Going on the road to take on the Buffalo Bills in a huge division matchup. Bills with a chance to kind of put their foot down and bury these Patriots. Such a shock to see the Patriots. We were interested in seeing how they would do without Brady. But I think the wheels are coming off a little sooner than a lot of people expected. So, Alex, I'll let you have the first take here. Who do you like here in this first game?
So it's a division game, right? Bills versus – I mean, the Bills haven't looked too great as of lately after beating them, coming after
off
that.
A disappointing win against the Jets. They struggled to take down the Jets.
Yeah,
they did. It didn't look pretty. But again, you have a Patriots team that just looked deflated, man. I mean, it looked ugly. They only scored 6 points. But I'm going to go back with Bill Belichick. We could look that up later on, but of him losing consecutively, I don't know when's the last time that's ever happened.
I think they just did, right? Wasn't their loss?
I think they've dropped 2 in a row now.
They dropped already? Oh, man. Again, I don't even care for the Patriots. I'm not too worried about them.
All good.
So I'm going to still pick the Patriots. I think they'll hopefully have a bounce back game. Against a division game, it's going to be a little bit closer. I don't know. I say Patriots.
Yeah, all right. Interesting. I feel like this is going to be a low-scoring game. The Bills' offense is kind of struggling. They struggled against the Titans, who gives up a ton of points to all of their opponents.
Yep.
Also struggled against the Jets, like we said. And with Cam Newton turning the ball over, their offense is looking bad. No more Julian Edelman for the foreseeable future. This is going to be an ugly, low-scoring defensive battle, I think. But I'm going to take the Bills at home. I think they're turning the corner, and I think it's time to take the crown away from the Patriots, who've won this division every year since I've pretty much started watching football. It's insane. So, I'll take the Bills in this one. Jake, what about you?
I think you hit the nail right on the head there. I like the Bills at home here. I would maybe lean toward New England in a bounce-back performance if they were in Foxborough. But yeah, this is Buffalo's chance. Like, this is, the gate is finally open. Can they go through and put the foot in the ground and stomp out the Patriots? And that's such a weird sentence to say 8 weeks into the NFL season. Can Buffalo kind of put the nail in the coffin in the Patriots season? What a world we live in. I'm going to go with the Bills.
All right. That's 2 for the Bills then. Can they take advantage of this opportunity? We'll see. Next game we have interesting matchup here. 2 pretty high-octane offenses in the Las Vegas Raiders coming off a pretty bad loss against the Buccaneers, letting up 45 points. Going on the road to take on the Cleveland Browns, who won a shootout against Cincinnati last week. No more Odell Beckham Jr., but their stories are out that apparently their offense functions more efficiently when he's not on the field. I don't know. It's just one of those fluky stats. I don't know. But Cleveland Browns 5-2. How about the Cleveland Browns? Usually, Jake, I like to hear your take on these Browns first, since you are in Ohio. You have the Ohio territory. So do you think they could get it done again against the Raiders?
I think the Browns go to 6-2 here, and ooh. I don't buy into Derek Carr and this Raiders team.
Really?
They kind of
Derek Carr.
I agree. They've put together some nice quality wins. They have looked good at times, but I haven't bought fully into the John Gruden experience there. And I like. We've seen Baker Mayfield play without Odell Beckham Jr. and we've seen him play with Odell Beckham Jr. And without a doubt, everybody's saying it, and it's no secret, really. I think Baker Mayfield performs better without him. I thought they should have traded him, halfway through last year, frankly. So give me the Browns. Give me the Ohio team here.
All right. I like it. So maybe there's an element of force feeding Odell Beckham Jr. the ball, and things happen less organically or naturally throughout the course of a game when he's in there, because you got to want to feed your superstar. But interesting take there. You're probably right about that. Mr. Titan, Alex, what about you, sir?
I agree with Jake on this one. I think that pressure is off of pretty boy Mayfield, just because if you think about it, Odell is always the one that wants the ball, this and that. I think that pressure of, pleasing him is out the window. I think he's a little bit more comfortable. He could sling it to a few more different people, spread the ball around. I agree with him. I think the Browns, initially are just clicking. They're a lot better. They're not the same team as last year. They're gelling a lot better, and I think the Browns are going to take it.
Yeah, they still got weapons. They got Landry. They got Kareem Hunt carrying the ball. David Njoku, I think, is healthy this year. I actually haven't seen much from him, but they still got weapons. I think that offense will be fine for the most part. I'll go against you guys. Maybe this is an opportunity to get a game on me.
Widen the gap,
Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders on the road here. Yeah. Derek Carr, haven't seen a whole lot from him. They have come out and played really well. They did beat the Chiefs. It's just kind of an up and down team, I think, especially, on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to have to find a way to shut down Cleveland's offense because, the defense is really holding back this Raiders team right now, from what I'm seeing. But, let's do it. I'll throw it out there. Raiders get their 4th win of the season, get above 500 again. Interesting matchup here. Let's move on to the Indianapolis Colts coming off of a bye, taking on the Detroit Lions with a miracle win against the Falcons last week to move into 500 at 3-3. Lions hosting the Colts. This is a huge game for the Lions. I think, if they're able to pull off this win, they kind of climb right back into that, maybe not that NFC North division title race, but maybe just back into the playoff conversation talk. And I think, at the end of the day, by the end of the season, they can be one of these teams that will end up benefiting from the 7-team playoff instead of being a game back or a game out. Now they're going to let in a 7th team, and the Lions could be that team. But this is the kind of game that they're going to need to win here at home. Mr. Titan, I'll go to you first. I am not ready to give my pick yet. I don't know what it is.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna go with the Colts. They're gonna be. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, they're gonna be more. They're well rested and they play better on both sides of the ball, defense and offense. And again, don't get me wrong, I would like to see the Lions come in and sneak a victory. I mean, definitely. The Bengals almost did it to the Colts. They were so close, and then the Bengals kind of gave up on that game, and I don't know what happened. But I'm going to go with, unfortunately, Phillip Rivers and the Colts.
It's all about Phillip Rivers. How far can the Colts go with him at quarterback?
Exactly.
Man, I'm gonna go with my rooting interest here a little bit. I'm gonna take the Lions. I'm biased against the Colts. Love to see the Colts take an L here. They're on the road. Maybe it's the bye week. Did they get healthier? Are they going to come out sharper? Or I don't know. It's hard to buy into this Lions team still when they're struggling to get some of these wins. But Matt Stafford, underrated quarterback, always has been. I think he'll carry them against a tough Colts defense too. But I think he'll carry them to a win here. Give me the Lions, Jake.
I was this close to taking the Lions as my upset pick of the week, but Indianapolis is coming off that bye. I think this Detroit Lions team is kind of a straw man in that they, can barely string these wins together against the likes of, for instance, Atlanta last week. It took, all 60 minutes of the clock for them to beat Atlanta last week.
Right.
So give me the Colts coming off the bye. But God, yeah, just like you guys said, you would love to see Detroit pull this one off as a Titans fan.
Definitely. All right, well, let's move on to back into the NFC North. We didn't really leave it because of the Lions, but we're definitely double downing in the NFC North now with the Minnesota Vikings. Tough game against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. Packers getting back on to their winning ways, beating Houston last week, and the Vikings had a bye, I believe. Just two teams going in two different directions here. I got the Packers at home. I think they handle them pretty easily. Packers. Jake, what about you?
I'm going to go the Packers here too. I've been saying it every week. One of the Packers are my favorite team in the NFC. I think they're the clear-cut favorite to win the entire conference, frankly. So, just Minnesota's overmatched here, even despite coming off a bye. So give me Green Bay.
All right, 2 for Green Bay. Alex?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers all day. It's not even a question.
He's a bad man.
He's a bad man.
That's it. He's a bad
man. Except for that stinker against Tampa Bay, he's looking like an MVP candidate this year.
That's true.
So loving what he's doing with Devontae Adams is back now, but I mean he was still doing things whenever he was out. Devontae Adams was out, so yeah, bad man, Aaron Rodgers. If that wasn't as big of a gap between teams of playing this week, this one is even greater. This is the biggest gap. I think we've got possibly the best team in the NFL in the Kansas City Chiefs hosting unanimously the worst team in the NFL in the New York Jets. Is this going to be a weird flunky? Like you look up and it's the third quarter and it's like 23-17 Chiefs. And it's like, okay. We thought we had the NFL figured out. I feel like something weird like that is going to happen, but no, I think the Chiefs win by 3 touchdowns easily, regardless of the flukiness of the NFL. Give me the Chiefs. What about you guys? Jake first.
I think this is going to be a sweep for the Chiefs, but I think the line for this game opened at over 20 points as far as the betting spread goes.
20.5 right now.
So you take that 3 touchdown guarantee, Justin. You ride that to Vegas.
Run it, man. Run with it.
I will take the Chiefs minus 20.5. I like that.
Okay. All right, minus 20 for you. All right, Alex. Yeah, I don't want to hear who the team you're going to pick. I just want to know if you think the Chiefs will cover the spread. That's probably the more interesting pick for this game.
Yeah, most likely. I think they will. I think it'll be. Again, imagine if the Jets get their only win against. Because you know what? Any given Sunday, man, you never know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not picking the Jets. I'm just saying, imagine it would be. 2020 is already crazy as it is. Imagine if the Jets won, but I'm going with the Chiefs all day.
Man,
I love rooting for chaos. I love it.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Jets win, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I would love the chaos, love the storyline that would come out after that. So I would root for that result, but there's no way. We got the Chiefs in a sweep here. Moving on, Los Angeles Rams. God, that NFC West is just stacked. They're looking just as good as they ever have been this year, at least. Trending in the right direction. Going to Miami Dolphins. Not a fan really of this quarterback change right now. I mean, Fitzpatrick, I don't think has played poor enough to give that up, but we're going to see Tua for the first time, people. Lots of hype surrounding him. He was a super exciting player to watch at Alabama before his injury. So this will be an interesting game. Alex, I'll go right back to you. What do you think happens here?
I'm not too surprised of the change if you think about it, man. Okay. Fitzpatrick, he usually has 4 or 5, usually the beginning of the season, has great games, right? Is he going to be that player that's going to get you to the playoffs and win you at least one game? Unfortunately, it probably won't happen. So putting, because I have a couple friends from Miami and they weren't upset with the decision. Again, they're starting, he needs to get reps regardless. He's going to be the future of that team. I mean, they're not going to go anywhere. Might as well just start, So not picking Dolphins. I'll give you that.
After all that long
all that talking,
and I'm picking them to lose. Yeah. So we got one for the Rams. Jake, what about you? Man, my screen.
I like what you said down there, Alex. And the old adage in the NFL is better a year early than a year late. Well, with Fitzpatrick, probably better a few games early than a few games late. And for that reason, I wanted to take Detroit as my upset pick of the week, but I'm taking the Dolphins in my upset pick of the week right here.
Okay.
Coming off the bye, they gave Tua an extra week to study. I mean, he's been sitting back there. I'm sure, he's been taking meaningful reps in practice. And, I just like to see that spark ignited, especially with a young quarterback like Tua. So give me the Dolphins in an upset.
All right. A little vote of confidence for Tua. Yeah, I was going to say, they want to see reps. I think he did throw. He went like 2 for 2 for 12 yards in that last game they played. So I guess the coaching staff saw that and he was like, this is the guy. He's ready.
Lighting the world on fire.
The best two passes we've ever seen. He's the next Dan Marino. So we'll see.
They must have Bill O'Brien in the back or something telling them what to do.
And don't forget, who's your best player? Let's go ahead and trade him. Let's go ahead and trade him for some draft picks.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the Bill O'Brien way.
Yeah.
And super excited though to see Tua, regardless of what happens there. Did I make my pick? I'm going to go Rams.
Did not.
I'm sorry. I do
good.
like the Rams here. Man, their defense, I think, is coming around. They really got right against Chicago last week because they allowed 10 points, but I think Chicago's touchdown came on the defensive side of the ball. Did it not? I think I'm right about that. So really, they only
allowed. I did not tune in that game. My fantasy matchup made me so frustrated. I just didn't want to watch the game.
Yeah, I think it was a weird thing where both teams ended up scoring like defensive touchdowns. But I think that's kind of a tough draw for Tua. His first game, he's seeing Aaron Donald, the best defensive lineman of the modern era, probably. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt again by Aaron Donald. Let's move on. Let's move on, people, to the game of the week, most likely. The Pittsburgh Steelers, last undefeated team in the NFL. Thank you, Gostowski. No, we lost for more reasons than Gostowski. I'm not going to just throw him under the bus. But they're going to be tested by the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Ravens are 5-1. Their lone loss coming to the Kansas City Chiefs. So just two of top-tier teams going at it here. Super excited to not watch this game because I'm going to be watching the Titans game, but I'll definitely watch some highlights. Man, Jake, I'll go right back to you. How do you see this game playing out?
I don't know if it's the salt factor, the saltiness factor bleeding over from last week, but I just got a feeling in my gut that Baltimore rolls this Pittsburgh team this week. I didn't like what I saw from this last week was the first full Pittsburgh Steelers game I've watched, and they had the Titans just absolutely pinned, down 20 points, and they let it up.
Yeah.
So it wasn't impressive to me. I know they're the last undefeated team, but they have had the benefit of some easy scheduling. I mean, as have the Titans. I mean, obviously, but they let the Titans come all the way back, and it just didn't impress me much. So I just got a feeling in my gut that Baltimore is going to roll here. So give me the Ravens.
Interesting. We did talk about in our post-game reaction how I hope we kind of see the Steelers team again in the playoffs, because how that game ended, we were playing better football by the end of the game. And I kind of felt at the end like we can definitely beat this team. I would like to play them again. I just think we had a horrible start. But what's interesting is we were able to come back against that team because we do have an offense that's capable of doing that. What a lot of people say about this Ravens offense is if the Steelers go up by 20 points, they have a much harder time playing from behind like that. They're great at playing with a lead or in a one possession game when they can just do what they're comfortable with running Lamar Jackson, handing the ball off, what they do best. So I'm with you. I will also take the Ravens, but I don't see a blowout. I think it'll be more tightly contested. But yeah, I think this is going to be a good one. But I got Baltimore too.
I didn't say blowout. I just said maybe.
You said they're going to roll.
They're going to roll.
They're going to roll.
They're going to roll. There might be some garbage points at the end.
I take that they're going to win comfortably.
Easily. Yeah.
Okay, comfortably. Maybe not a blowout, but I'll take it by 14.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay, that's rolling for me. Alex, what about you? Don't make this a sweep. That would be too crazy. That would be serious disrespect to the Steelers.
It would. I'm going with the Steelers.
Okay. All right.
I'm going with the Steelers. Just that defense, man. I think the Steelers are going to look at the tape that from last year when we play the Ravens and kind of go off on that. I mean, T.J. Watt. Let's just be honest. That guy was an animal. We couldn't control him, unfortunately.
No matter what, the Watts kill us.
Yeah.
Dude. JJ Watt has tortured us for forever, and now he's got TJ. So we got to look forward to that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the Steelers will win, but again, I don't think it's going to be. I think it'll be a close match. I think it might be like a low-scoring game, maybe 27-17 or something. But I feel like the Steelers, unfortunately, will eke out that victory.
Okay, Steelers may stay undefeated then. So we'll see. Yeah, that's going to be a great game. Let's move on to another divisional matchup. Much more of a lackluster division matchup. We've got the LA Chargers at 2-4 taking on their fellow 2-4 compadres, the Denver Broncos. Broncos, they're just looking worse and worse. Unfortunately, they had a bad loss to the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs, but still, yeah, they look pretty bad on offense there. I like Justin Herbert. He's doing good things. I feel like we say that almost every week on this picks show. It's when we talk about the Chargers, we're talking about how impressive Justin Herbert is coming out of the gates here. I'll take the Chargers on the road. I think they're better on both sides of the ball right now. And they've had some tough losses, close losses to really good teams. So, yeah, I just think overall they're a better team. Give me the Chargers. Mr. Titan, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to go agree with you as well. I think they're just the better team. Broncos are just they just look bad, man. They look bad on all sides of the ball, regardless of what's out there, defense or offense, even special teams. I pick Chargers all day.
Two for the charge. Jake, what's it going to be for you?
I'm going to take this opportunity to try and get a game back here.
I like it.
And I'm going to use the George Costanza method in that take everything that you think is true and just do the opposite. Just because, we've seen it in the NFL time and time again. You see a team like Denver where the wheels are falling off, the week before, and you see, this flashy rookie in Justin Herbert, and he looks good against the Jags. And, everybody goes to Vegas and puts all their money on the Chargers. And guess who wins? House always wins. Denver cleans up. So give me Denver in this
Man.
one. I like the opportunity to pick up a game here. I had the Chargers circle on my sheet, but I don't know, something overtook me. So give me the Broncos.
I feel like if I'd went to you first to pick, you probably would have gone Chargers. But you
correct.
I think
exactly.
so.
That's exactly
That's strategy, man.
And
Strategy.
I like it. That's how you play these weekly picks games here.
It's going great for me so far in the last place. So.
Next time I go on the show, I'm gonna study the picks on how you did it. I'm like, no.
It's a very intrinsic science. It takes years of.
Justin goes to me first. I'm doing the opposite. That's it.
Right. Got to get your own formula there.
Classic.
So we got a pretty good, interesting matchup here in the NFC. Afternoon game here. Saints at Bears. Okay, so the Bears dropped that game Monday night to the Rams. The Saints last week won, and I'm drawing a blank who they won against.
Carolina.
They beat
a tight one.
Oh, okay. I thought that happened like 2 weeks ago. No, that was last week. Okay.
It's just because the Titans lost on Sunday, the week always feels longer.
Yeah, I just went blank on everything else. So, yeah, Saints 4-2, Bears 5-2. A lot of people think this is a very pretending Bears team at 5-2. Kind of got exposed, perhaps, of who they truly are against the Rams, or was that a fluke? Saints, not the Saints of old. They're 4-2, not a bad record, but haven't been as dominant as what we're used to seeing from the Saints team. Man, Jake, I'll go to you first. Who do you like in this game?
You know, I've been riding the Bears a lot in these picks videos, and they let me down on Monday night. And I just, something about the Saints, I don't think they're as fraudulent as the Bears are at 2 losses at this point in the season. So give me New Orleans, even despite all the Mike Thomas drama. He's not going to play again this week. But, I love Alvin Kamara, and I still think Drew Brees is a competent quarterback. He's not, in a retirement home quite yet. He still can't throw the ball 15 yards, but still give me Drew Brees here. I like the Saints.
Makes sense. I'm just going to tag up with you here. I'll take the Saints as well at home. Don't like that Bears offense. Nick Foles, I don't know. That's the former Super Bowl MVP. I'm just not really bought in on him being a quality starting quarterback in the NFL. Crazy thing to say. But I like the Saints here. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I would pick the Saints. The Bears are like, it's almost like a pretend. Like their record is not who they are. It's kind of like a false identity. Like them being 5-2, and the way they play, it doesn't match up with the record. So just because the record's 5-2 doesn't mean they're a quality team. I don't buy in on them at all. So pick the Saints.
Not a believer at all in the Bears.
Sorry.
Alex. I mean, yeah, I can't blame you. We got a sweep for the Saints. We got about 8 minutes left here. So, and we got 3 games and then the Titans game. So let's try to get through these last ones pretty quick. We got divisional game, 49ers at Seahawks. Man, 49ers keep winning games. Yeah, this is gonna be a good game. Seahawks dropped their first game of the season last week to a Cardinals in a crazy game. I think they get a bounce back win here. They're healthier. I'll take Russell Wilson over Jimmy Garoppolo any day. That defense though of the Seahawks could get carved up by the 49ers, who always has a good running back performance. They could line up anybody back there, and they get production. But I'll take the Seahawks. Jake, what about you?
Something's fishy about this 49ers team. Since they laid the egg in Miami, they came out with some fire. And, Seattle's I think they rank 32nd in overall defense. So, something's fishy about this whole game. And for that, I'm going the upset. Give me the 49ers.
I like it. I actually like that upset pick. What about you, man? Alex?
You know what? It might not even be an upset pick because, both teams are playing very well, so it could go either way. I think it's going to be the Seahawks just because it's a bounce-back game. I think they're going to be upset for losing that game. They should have won, but I picked the Seahawks, man.
All right. Will be an interesting game for sure. Let's move on to the Sunday night game. The NFC East. Oh man, I saw a comment actually either on Twitter or maybe it was the NFL subreddit, and it was so true. They were saying how we should just delete the NFC East teams from the playoffs this year, and all of the NFC West teams get to be in the playoffs because every single team in that division is better than every team in the NFC East, which is crazy. But regardless, we got Cowboys at Eagles. Cowboys are just going in the wrong direction. Andy Dalton getting lit up, not being helped by his teammates. Not seeing leadership, not seeing good football play. Bad things are happening in Dallas right now. So I'm taking the Eagles to get it done at home. I think they're playing a little bit better right now. Had a pretty good game against the Ravens, I think, last week. Is that who they lost to? That could have been 2 weeks ago.
I think it was 2.
Anyway, I'm still taking the Eagles. Alex, what about you?
I'm picking the Eagles because it's always nice to walk in, especially living in Dallas, the next day to work, and it's quiet because all the Dallas fans are pissed off. So I'm going with the Eagles.
Alex revels in the pain and sadness of his coworkers. Let that go on the record. It's great. Jake, what about you?
I'm going to go with the Eagles here, too. I mean, Mike McCarthy, is he going to go, 7 or 8 games into his tenure with the Cowboys? And for Christ's sake, can we please stop putting the NFC East on prime time? It seems like they're on every single week in some form or facet, be it Thursday night, Sunday night, or Monday night. But give me the Eagles here. I thought about the wheels falling off in Denver and then going on to the next week, and I took Denver. This is not going to be the case with the Cowboys. So I hurl an insult at your coworkers for me down there, Mr. Titans. And so I'm taking Philly.
Jake from Titans Tube says, "Suck it, y'all." All right, so that's a sweep for the Eagles. A sweep for the Eagles on Sunday night. Monday night, I know we're going to be sweeping this one too. Tampa Bay at the New York Giants. Tampa Bay making a statement as wanting to be the favorites in the NFC, and they've got some of the more impressive wins on the season already under their belt, blowing out the Raiders last week, blowing out Green Bay the week before that. They're looking good. Give me Bucks. What about you guys? Bucks.
I'm taking the Bucks, but I will say the end of the Patriots dynasty came at a cost. They moved down to Tampa to retire, and now Tampa's kind of a hot team. But I will say, I said it with Chris on his anniversary show on Wednesday. Super Bowls are not won in October, so this Tampa Bay team could be peaking a little too soon. We'll see.
Right.
But give me the Bucks on my.
I do want to say this too, real quick. I know we're running out of time, but I do want to say I thought that the Patriots dynasty, I was given like 85% of the cause of their success is Belichick. I think Brady's helped by Belichick. Well, so far this year, after 7-8 games, this whole season's been a huge win for Tom Brady is the reason for the Patriots' success and not Belichick. So very interesting how that's playing out. I am going to have to give Brady a little more respect than I already had for him because, I thought he was part of a great system. But, man, yeah, it's looking like the opposite right now. Guys, we got about 3 minutes left. We got the Tennessee Titans going to Cincinnati to take on Joe Burrow's Cincinnati Bengals. Super banged up on the offensive line, the Bengals are. Can our defense fix itself? This has to be a get right for the defense kind of game. Obviously, I'm picking the Titans to win this game. The biggest concern has got to be how will our secondary hold up against this good group of talented weapons that Joe Burrow's throwing to, coming off 400 yards passing last week. That's going to be the main thing to keep an eye on for me. But I think the Titans will still get the win here. Jake, what about you? I'll get you last, Alex.
I'm going to make it quick. I'm a little worried going into this game. I think Titans fans are coming in real confident, thinking we're going to beat the brakes off of the Cincinnati team. Yes, they're beat up. Yes, they're 1-5-1. But, they've been competitive in a lot of the games they've played. I think Joe Burrow is the real deal. But still, give me the Titans in a bounce-back game. They're going to be pissed about the loss. But, give me the Titans.
So you think Burrow is more of a real deal now? Because I think at the beginning of the year you were saying, on the fence.
He was real hyped. In my neck of the woods, they sell his T-shirts on every corner, every newsstand in the city. But we're getting down to the time, Mr. Titan.
Oh, sorry, this one. Go for it. Yeah, Alex.
I picked the Titans, but like you said, they've been in close games for most of the season, except the Ravens game. I mean, 37-34, 31-27 against the Colts. So they've been putting up numbers. So we have to remember that. Like that's a big deal, especially this defense that kind of gives up as much points as they receive. So Titans, though,
you got to think if the defense is going to make us get into a shootout, I think the offense is up to the challenge. Bengals are still pretty poor on defense for the most part. No more Carlos Dunlap over there for them. Didn't they lose somebody else really good, either to injury or through free agency? I don't know, but
they're running backs out and a couple
mix in right. So pretty beat up, but this has got to be a get right game for Titans coming off a almost great comeback against the Steelers after their first loss. So hopefully the Titans can get it done, y'all.
All right. Thanks for being on, Mr. Titan. We getting down to the timer. Thanks so much. Like, comment, subscribe, everybody. Justin, you got anything to take us to the barn?
Check out his YouTube channel and his Twitter.
Absolutely.
The links to that will be in the description below. Alex, thanks again. You're a true pro. You're a true Titans Tube channel champion. Titans channel Twitter tube.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
See y'all.